Wonder Woman issue 6, written by Greg Rucka and art by Nicholas Scott. This is the third chapter in the year one story. In fact, one little thing that I didn't put in the news, but I'll mention here because it's related to this book, is that the next issue that would have been the fourth chapter of year one will now be a standalone origin issue for a character that's, well, she was in the present day story, but this is the first time she's been in the past story, and that's Cheetah.
Yep, Barbara Ann.
Barbara Ann, yeah.
I guess, is that just for Nicholas Scott to get ahead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine so. Yeah, we're going to have a different artist, but I can't remember who it was. But because I don't have the story in front of me, but I remember they had a page and it was like, oh, that looks nice. So I think we're in good hands.
I think that's good. And they knew enough about it in advance to put that at the end of this issue. That the next one's going to be a break from the year one story.
Which is cool because it's also set around this bit of the timeline, and it's related because it's like the villain's origin.
Well, I've never been more interested in Cheetah. Like, Cheetah's always been a villain that's just kind of there. Like, they'll do the Injustice Gang, and she'll be there as the Wonder Woman representative.
The only other time I've really liked her is in the Justice book. You know, the 12 issue Alex Ross art with I think it was Jim Krueger who wrote it. She was done really well in that. That book did quite a few villains really well, actually, that I don't typically like.
Because you got the time spotlight on them, and they just weren't thrown there. But, like, the way they introduce her here in her class, like, talking about how this boulder fell on her leg, and so she has to walk with a cane. And I thought that's fun little character stuff that Rucka's doing to build.
Yeah, I thought our introduction was great. I think this is my favourite of the year one issues so far. I loved everything with Wonder Woman, like getting her photo taken and put in a cell. And because she speaks a different language, there was a lot of fun there with them not understanding each other. And it's all relying on facial expressions to see how isolated she feels, and it was done really well. It did a great job of explaining, to an extent, how she gets all of her powers. Like, it makes it clear she didn't have all these already. She didn't just have these because she's from Themyscira. She gets these from the gods, her strength and her flight and stuff.
I love that so much.
Such a gorgeous page as well when they all show up in their animal forms.
Yeah.
And you get that seeded throughout, too, because when the hawk is following her, and then you see a dove and an owl, and you're just like, if you know anything about mythology and Greek mythology, it's like these little things that are there that are representative of the gods.
That obviously leads to a cliffhanger where she has her super strength, and that sets up the next issue. But what I like about Barbara Ann coming in, and they bring her in to translate because she knows enough of these different languages that she may be able to cobble it together. Because the translator they have only speaks like ancient Greek, and that's not technically what she's speaking. She's speaking,
and he is well, she's speaking like an amalgam of old languages, but because they're not stuck in a time thing, they've been updated. So the Themysciran language has evolved just like any other one. So there's Latin base to it. There's what did they say?
It's just like how English has like parts, Latin parts, whatever else.
And so Barbara Ann's able to come in and piece this together enough to translate for Diana.
But what I like about that though
was clever.
Is that it builds their connection. It sets this idea up that like this is the first person Wonder Woman in this world feels that she can talk to. So it sets up that friendship in a really nice way.
And it happens to be an educated woman, which is a nice touch. Like it's not Etta Candy, like she's not like a military linguist, that does it. It's a scholar that comes in. I thought that was cool. Especially after the old dude just was not having it because, oh no, it's ancient Greek. I can do it. And even Diana mentions like he's speaking like words I kind of understand, but he's doing like they're really old. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no, I thought they did a good job of building up some of the Wonder Woman mythology for people who don't know what it is, and introducing that relationship with Cheetah. So I actually think this was a really good issue. I really like this one.
Yeah, I think the language barrier was the best part because it really let Nicholas Scott shine of having to do all of the storytelling for both parts, and it led to one of my favourite moments is when she comes in, she speaks the language, and her face just lights up, and she's like, "Oh, someone else can speak to me." It's fantastic.
So, does this make you feel better, Connor, that we're not getting black magic right now?
I mean, it helps.
Okay.
But it's still a little hole inside me just waiting for that to come back.
Well, that's fine. You can just sit it next to that big dark hole where your heart's meant to be, you ginger.
We have hearts, just not souls.
Okay. Apologies.
They're different things.